Hello everyone, welcome back. Savages here, coming back with a new part of how long will it take Midoriya to finally break after seeing everything he ever worked for and ever wished to become get crushed under the reality that this world is all just full of fucked up people and rapist people. Well, that's certainly not the title, but, it might as well be. Regardless, where we last left off, Midoriya has managed to run out of the hands of Wave after suddenly basically using smokescreen. I mean, why am I even hiding it? He's basically using smokescreen by accident, still needing to figure out those quirks, the whole thing with the one for all, yada yada yada. I'm a little upset today. Maybe I'm just a little tired. Or angry, or just, I don't know. Regardless of it all, let's just continue, shall we? Just don't forget to tell me down in the comments what do you think about this part, and let's begin. Midoriya finally returns to the hideout of Night Raid, and everyone welcomes him. They're surprised to see him because they were planning on going to the Empire to try and track him down and save him when it comes the chance, but apparently he just saved himself, which is good to hear. And he proceeded to tell them about what happened with him, and, well, he left a few positions empty, such as when Lavak asked what the hell Esdeath wanted from him, and, well, that wasn't a topic he really wanted to get into. Regardless, by that all going on, and Najida still not returning home, Akame told Midoriya that it's all alright now. You're finally here, and that's what matters. You need a rest. And Midoriya said, yeah, please. Oh, I also managed to get a few information about those Imperial Arm users. As Leona said, well, isn't that impressive? We will sure to put those info into good use. As Midoriya said, yeah. And then he proceeded to basically go on almost a 2 hours tantrum about every single member of the Jaeger squad, their Imperial Arm and their uses, and how he assumes them to be able to use them, and the limitations, though a few of them he's still not sure about, such as, Esdeath and that one girl called, Kurame, since he didn't see her abilities clearly. Regardless, at nighttime, Midoriya is just having a peaceful night. A peaceful night that gets interrupted by a nightmare. A horrible nightmare. He's alone in an empty void as he just yells in the distance to try for anybody to hear his voice, but he couldn't find it. He couldn't find his mouth to yell. He wants to scream. He wants to call upon anyone, as he sees in the distance a few people as he yells and yells, but no voice comes out of his mouth, because there is no mouth. He tries to reach with his hand, but there is no hand. He tried to walk forward, but he's missing his legs. And in the end, those weird dark figures look over their shoulders at Midoriya as they reach towards him, slowly and eventually reaching and almost touching his face, and in that moment, he wakes up on a cold sweat. He breathes heavily, shaking in his hand, and he shot a blast of pressured air into his window, breaking it. As he looks into his hand, seeing one for all active in it, he wonders, what was that? But suddenly, he gets a pain in his head, a headache. But could it be what? It's a similar feeling he got before. He got it once when that monster attacked Wave, and he got it another time when a guy tried to sneak up on him. It happened every time he felt danger. And so he left his room, and when he's walking around, he sees Akame chopping down a weird-looking person wearing a mask, a bunch of them with needles on their hands, as he said, Akame, what's going on? As she said, Midoriya, we're being attacked. The entire hideout is... As suddenly, the wall explodes on the side, and Midoriya sees another few of these weird pawns jumping in, their masks, and they're just yelling, saying, for the glory of Master Dr. Stylish, as they immediately start attacking, while Midoriya said, Stylish? As he remembers, Dr. Stylish, that member of the Jaeger squad. He didn't get any informations about him because he never saw him in action. That makes sense. Did he follow him? How did he find him? As immediately they continued to battle inside the hideout. but eventually they had to come out of the hideout and fight outside. Midoriya and the rest of Night Raid all jump outside. They're surrounded by a lot of pawns, and in the distance, Midoriya using his Imperial Arm, the spectator, to locate Dr. Stylish, and he sees him on the top of a cliff. Damn it, he followed him. As he looks into everyone saying, sorry, it seemed that guy followed me here. As Bulat, that was in his armor already, said, we will talk about this later. For now, let's focus on surviving. As Midoriya said, damn it, great job, Izuku, you just put all your friends in danger. And so they proceeded to fight, Akame slashing those pawns like nothing, Lavak and Leone teaming up to take them down, with him trapping them in his good old strings, while Leone just killing them with her giant claws. Akame eventually had to deal with a warrior that seems specifically designed to fight her, because her Imperial Arm did not work on him. He did not seem to be affected by the poisonous curse of her sword, which only means that he is not fully human. Regardless, Bulat is facing a few of the pawns, including Midoriya, and not to mention Mine, who's using her laser beam to shoot them. Eventually, as Midoriya and Mine get separated from the rest of the Night Raid group, each one is dealing with a certain section of this entire army that Dr. Stylish apparently have brought with him. Eventually, Midoriya hears a sound from behind, and it says, well, look what we have here. Aren't you that one kid from that tournament? As Midoriya looks over his shoulder, he sees this giant guy with with scissors. Shell's scissors. As Midoriya gets angry, saying, wait, you are, as he said, oh, you noticed these? Yeah, I'm the new member of the Jaeger squad. As Mine also looks at him and is getting angry, seeing this guy holding the shields of creation of Shell. As he continued to proceed talking, saying after Midoriya was a disappointment of the fact he couldn't use it, it only made sense that they would find someone as good and great as him as to use those Imperial Arm. And so, now he's gonna deliver his head straight into Death. As Midoriya gets angry and was about to attack the guy, but Mine puts her hands forward in front of Midoriya, saying, no, this guy is mine. As Midoriya said, but mine, as she said, you just focus on protecting me. And Midoriya just nods. You see the determination in her face. He doesn't want to read her mind, not to disrespect her thoughts. But he can see it clearly. He doesn't need to do that. He knows it. She feels responsible for Shell's death, and so she wants to make up for it. And so she proceeded to do so. Her emotions flowing through her body, powering up her pumpkin. Immediately shot the guy with a giant laser blast that evaporated him into nothing more than ash and smoke. In a second, that so-called powerful warrior has turned into nothing but, ash and a memory forgotten for eternity. The only thing that's left standing was Shell's Imperial Arm, her shears of creation, as Mine goes down and hugs them, apologizing for not saving Shell. Midoriya just looks down for a second and is paying his respect and getting a little sad. But then, the pain in the head returns, the stabbing sensation continues as Midoriya immediately dodges out of the way an upcoming attack as he's saying, what's the matter with me? As he kills the target, another pawn, but this time it exploded on him as it causes him to be thrown into a distance. And Midoriya said, what? This is getting ridiculous. Those guys are bombs as well? And he's just disgusted to think that Dr. Stylish turns those people not only into these weird amalgam, almost Nomo-like creatures that don't think for themselves, ready to throw their lives just because Dr. Stylish made them this way, and the fact that he's also turned them to bombs. How much sick can this guy be? And he's getting angry, and every time he gets angry, he powers up One for All even more, and he goes above his limit. He goes into 25% as his lightning starts sparkling around his body. He's pushing his limit once more, and so he proceeds to continue the fight. Eventually, Dr. Stylish in the distance, seeing that the battle is commencing very not in his favor, certainly, so he decided to use his trump card. And so he does, and all the nitrates still fighting the upcoming waves. So, thanks to Midoriya's help, they certainly have subsided. A lot of the numbers has been dwindled down because nitrates, seeing how much Midoriya is getting stronger. This is much more faster and powerful than he normally is, and it's quite helping. Though as Midoriya is ready to take his breath, he lowers his percentage back into 19% as he's taking breath, feeling his body almost breaking, on the edge of collapsing, but still not too far gone. It's like pushing weights. You can feel your muscles staring, but they're still usable. As Akame is saying, don't push yourself too hard. We're still here to support you. As Midoriya said, yeah, right, But suddenly, Midoriya falls on his knees, and Akame said, Midoriya, what's the... But then she also falls on her knees, and it's followed by the rest of the members of Nitrate. Mine, of course, as well. Leone, Lavak, all of them fall on their knees. The only person that isn't is Bulat, as he said, what's going on? Are you alright, guys? As Midoriya said, what's going on? For some reason, it started getting heavy. I can't move my legs. As Bulat just said, wait, why am I not affected? As Midoriya looks into Dr. Stylish in the distance, and he sees that smirk on his face, and Midoriya proceeds to use one of his visions, his spectator's vision, to read the mind of Dr. Stylish, and he reads it. Dr. Stylish is thinking about his trump card, a virus he created that strips the body of all of its energy, a poison in the air that he just released, and Midoriya tells the rest of Nitrate about it. And of course, the only reason why Bulat is still okay is the fact that his armor is purifying the air. And so Bulat starts proceeding to fight, trying to protect the rest of the Team Nitrate while all of them are trying to stand up. As Midoriya is also trying to stand up, saying, come on, stand up. This is getting stupid. As he's looking, seeing that Mine is about to be hit by one of the enemies, is about to stab her straight through her body. As Midoriya said, no, you let go of Mine. As, well, the guy is not listening. He runs his hand on the petite body of the little girl as Midoriya gets angrier and angrier, and eventually, as the rest of those armies surrounding them, and some of them jumping on Bulat, holding him in place to ensure he doesn't interfere as they proceed to try and murder the rest of Nitrate, Midoriya gets angry as he yells, saying, you leave him alone! As suddenly, in a blast of air and smoke, suddenly everything goes quiet for a second. A sound break in the barrier immediately can be heard through everyone's ears. And when the smoke clears, they just see Midoriya standing there with his electricity shining. All of Nitrate is still on the ground, unable to move, but Bulat is the only one who was still able to move. It seems that all the people that were on top of him just suddenly were gone. As he looks around, he just sees the pieces left from their bodies on the floor, all on the ground, and just blood and, well, organs just littering the ground. All of Nitrate seeing it as well, and, well, they hear the sound of Midoriya's lightning sparkles as they see him in the distance, a little far from the rest, standing up, and his body is covered in blood dripping from him, almost like he was ramming through a bunch of bodies. As Midoriya looks at his hand, saying, what did I... And suddenly he gets a shock of pain in his head as he falls on his knees, and suddenly he finds himself in an empty space. He looks around, and there is nothing, but then he hears a sound from behind saying, you idiot! Are you trying to die so bad? If you want to kill yourself, do it after you're back to your world. As Midoriya turns around, he sees, for a second, Bakugo? But the guy gets closer, and the closer he gets, the more Midoriya realizes that this isn't Bakugo, even though he seems like him, as the guy looks straight into Midoriya's eyes, so close and with an angry look, saying, "If you think you can handle my quirk, you'll die if you use it, you hear me?" As Midoriya just stares into the guy. He doesn't seem to be able to talk back, as so the guy continues speaking, saying, "You don't understand it, I get it. But you're using my quirk. Overclock. Be careful with it. If you use it too much, you'll end up killing yourself. It accelerates everything and de-accelerates it as well. You better not use it anymore until you're ready, because right now you could have ripped your body apart, and I will not allow you to do that. Not before I have the blood of All For One on your fists." As the guy calms down for a second, as he said, "Listen, I get it. You've been thrown into a place you don't understand, and you're not familiar with anything around here. And you're forced to do things that you do not wish to do, but I'm tired of seeing you cry every time somebody's blood is on your hand. You may think you're heroic by trying to think of a different way, a way to save those people, a way to punish the criminal without killing them. But that is not selflessness, and that's not protecting the innocent. You're just a selfish bastard who wants a peace of mind, not to make the hard decision. Because real heroes do the hard decision. They take the life of the person who hurts the innocent. Because mercy for the guilty is punishment for the innocent. Do you wish to hurt the innocent? If so, then proceed and try saving them. Go ahead, I wouldn't stop you. But if you want to return to your world and prove that you're a true hero, understand that you have to do this. I understand that you also feel pain. I killed people myself. Many. And I never was proud of it. But I killed them for a good reason. I killed them to protect the people I want to protect, to try and save others. I was born in desperate times, but that time was my time. Now this is your time. Take the right decision and understand that whatever you do here only remains here. So as long as you keep that heroic heart of yours beating, no matter what this world throws at you, you will always be the same person. Now, how about you get up already and beat the hell out of that doctor and kill him? He's getting on my nerves." And so, suddenly Midoriya is pushed back into reality. He's on the ground breathing heavily, as he feels as if all of the oxygen in his body has just left. So he keeps taking deeper and deeper breath until he finally regains it. All his body feels static. It feels a little painful, but he now realized something. Apparently he can stand up. The rest of Nitrate can't because they still are poisoned, but it seemed that the poison in his body just disappeared. And so he thinks on that reason. So he remembered the words of that person in his mind, what he can only assume to be the second user, as he told him. As Midoriya thinks, his quirk, acceleration, it accelerated his body. Could it have possibly also caused an acceleration in the poison in his system to be, depleting quickly? Well, regardless of that, immediately another guy from behind attacks him. Midoriya successfully dodges him, but Bulat immediately jumps in and kills the dude. As Midoriya said, "Midoriya, you're alright?" As Midoriya said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I can move now. This doesn't seem to be there is an end to these guys. We need to get rid of Dr. Stylish now." As Bulat said, "Very well, I'll protect everyone. You take Akame and go ahead and help them. Kill that doctor for us." As Midoriya said, "Right." And so Midoriya goes and grabs Akame, saying, "You're coming with me." As, well, she immediately nods. Midoriya carries her on his back, and he jumps in front of Dr. Stylish. His Dr. Stylish and his 3 soldiers stand in front of him. His trackers, the guy with the eyes, the one with the nose, and the girl with the giant ears, all stand in front of him getting ready to protect him while Midoriya is looking at Dr. Stylish, and Dr. Stylish said, well, well, well. And here I knew there was something weird about you. You always seemed very different from everyone. Hasdeth will be so disappointed knowing that you're a member of Night Raid. Just imagine the look on her face once I tell her. As Midoriya said, don't worry, Doctor. No need for you to worry about telling her any of that and giving her your report, because you won't have the chance to do so. As Dr. Stylish said, ooh, so aggressive. Since when were you this bloodthirsty? As the three soldiers in front of Dr. Stylish said, we will protect you, Doctor. But Dr. Stylish knows that these guys will do nothing. They're useless. They're just trackers. And so he pulls out a needle and stabbed it straight into his neck. And suddenly he starts growing grotesquely. He starts growing and growing before he absorbs all the three and crushes them to add into his biomass, and he started growing and growing until he became a giant monster, even bigger than some of the robots Midoriya have seen in the entrance exam. As all the rest of the Night Raid seeing this, including Balat, the monster immediately lifts up his leg and goes to stab or stomp the ground. Immediately Balat and Midoriya try as hard as possible to grab everyone and take them out of harm's way. Eventually they stand between the trees while Dr. Stylish is just looking down saying, where are you, Night Raid? Come out wherever you are. And Midoriya is seeing this thing. Damn it, this guy's getting ridiculous. As Balat said, we need to aim for his head. And Midoriya said, you're right. And Midoriya looks on top of Dr. Stylish to the head of the monster. He sees him right there using his spectator. As Midoriya said, seeing that he's still there, we can take him if Akame could possibly stab him. As Akame said, then take me to him. And Midoriya said, very well. And Balat said, alright then, I'll open the path for you. As Midoriya said, right. And Midoriya said, but actually, Balat, let me handle the distraction. You take Akame. As Balat said, what are you planning to do? As Midoriya said, I think I have an idea. And so Balat grabs Akame and places her on his back, while Midoriya jumps up in front of Dr. Stylish after increasing his one for all level into 25% again. He jumps up in the air, and in that moment, he also thinks to himself, he thinks about that quirk, Overclock. He thinks and thinks as he said, I know you told me not to use it, but now I really need it. Whatever it is, it can help me. And so Midoriya immediately rushes, and in that second he increased his speed tremendously as he slams straight into the chest of the beast, and Dr. Stylish is pushed off of his balance, and he starts losing all of his balance before dropping on his back and saying, damn it, how did he? As Midoriya land on the chest of Dr. Stylish saying, you know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? As Dr. Stylish said, you little insignificant child, I'll kill you. As suddenly, before he tries to slam Midoriya's down like a bug, crush him, Midoriya cannot move. He's already so tired and his body is fatigued. He feels his muscles tearing apart, and seeing that he broke his legs. As suddenly Akame, on the back of Balat, she yells saying, no you won't. And in that moment, she jumps off of Balat's back after Balat throws her at Dr. Stylish, and she stabs him right in the heart. As he said, no way, it can't be. This is not how it's supposed to be. But she immediately chops off his head in a moment, saying, shut up, I don't care about your monologue. And Dr. Stylish dies, and the giant beast he was controlling, his hands falls limp on the ground. And Midoriya sees that, he just, damn it. Man, that was rough. As he just lays on the ground, or well, on the belly of the beast right now, looking up into the sky as he sees a giant manta ray. And from it, eventually the giant beast lands on the ground, and from it, a guy with a cloak on his head jumps down. Najinda is back, and she brought reinforcement. though it seemed that Nitrate did not need those reinforcement, this time at least. And after which, the rest of Nitrate is being taken in away out of this hideout. After all, they already figured their place, so they need to find another place. Midoriya, Lavak, and everyone else is being taken deep into the forest as Najinda puts them all on the back of her manta ray and they fly away. After they recover their strength and the rest of Nitrate being able to move back again. And so, Midoriya thinks in the middle of his flight as the sun starts rising. That person in his mind, a one-for-all user, and the quirk he used belonged to him. So odd. And the way he spoke to him, is he right? Was this whole time Midoriya trying to think of a way to save people? Was it just selfish act from him to try and keep his mind at ease? Well, suddenly he gets a slap on his head from Leone telling him, "Hey, what are you thinking about?" As Midoriya said, oh, it's just..." And Leone said, "And what was that you just did, the way that you pushed the monster off of its balance? Since when were you that strong?" As Midoriya said, "It's not really that easy. It was kind of a desperate attempt and I got my legs broken for it." As Leone said, "Well, yeah, but it was still awesome." "Hey, come on, calm down. I'm sure they will heal immediately." As Midoriya said, "Yeah, hopefully. Though I wonder where we're gonna go now." As Najinda said, "Don't worry. Nitrate have a secret hideout somewhere in the forest in case of an emergency like this. And, well, then I should probably introduce you to the new members of Nitrate. Everyone, meet my new Imperial Arm, Susanoo, and Chelsea." As they both say hi, and Midoriya said, "Good to meet you." And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to tell me down in the comments what do you think about this part and what do you think gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.